So we store everything into our phones, right? Got all the passwords saved. Now, if your phone is dead or stolen or whatever, misplaced, you're just lost, right? You don't know. Like you can't, if you don't have any numbers memorized, who are you going to call? Who? 911? Like who are you going to call? Okay, so what else? When we don't need to know them, the brain doesn't focus on it. If you want to do the deep work with people, you can't do it through technology, right? Can we understand and not judge it? Can we understand this and not judge it? Judging comes from our expectations. Judging comes from our expectations. Do you know it takes 25 minutes to get back focused? Most of us are swimming against the stream. Have you ever been doing something you just got distracted, right? And it takes a while to get back focused. It actually takes 25 minutes to get back focused. Most of us aren't present in our bodies. We're just going through the motions, right? When the last time have you just sat and just took a deep breath like, when is the last time you've done that? Do we do that? Have you done that? We're just going through the motions. Busy. We just busy bees. We can't control anything until we understand it. Know that you can't control anything until you understand it. We sacrifice control for approval. Sometimes we're afraid to explore our patterns because they might mean you have to change it, and we don't want to do that. We don't like change. Oh my God, I got to do what? Why we got to do it that way? We always been doing this way. Y'all know we don't like change. Change is, but it's necessary for growth, right? You're not actually messed up. You have everything you need. You have stories which have become your justification. You're not messed up. You're not broken. You have everything you need. Your stories have become your justifications. I can't because they won't let me live. I can't keep money. Most of our justifications have been given to us by somebody else. Most of our justifications have been given to us by somebody else. This happened to me, and that's why I'm like that. We don't want all the excuses and justifications taken away, because if they take away all the excuses and all the justifications, who are we? Who are you without all of your excuses and all of your justifications? Scary, right? Our identities are at stake. What we are removing are the layers of protection. What are we removing are the layers of protection. What are you actually trying to protect yourself from? What are you actually trying to protect yourself from? We don't want to give them back. That would be too much for the system if everything is taken away all at once. And this takes time. When I'm coaching, honey, it's hard. It's hard because we have these layers of protection that were given to us because something happened. And now I can't take this layer off, because if I take this layer off, then this might happen again, right? These are layers of protection. Arrested development, for those who just joined, I'm going to go back and read that definition because I really want you to understand what this is. Arrested development are things that we started to develop in childhood that have stopped. We've experienced something that wasn't safe. We start to put on layers to protect ourselves. Most of us are walking around with the layers, and the layers are not us. We are now committed to living into the shallowness of the layers, and the layers were created for a purpose. The layers don't want us to go deeper than them. We value the layers, we live according to the layers, and we just snorkel on the top. I'm telling you, you can get through this. I have the tools, I have the information to help you get past these things that have happened to you in your past, okay? So now I'm in my book. Now I'm in my coaching book, y'all. So let me break it all the way down for you. We're grown-ups walking around the planet with the self-esteem of a five-ish year old, demanding that she come meet us where we are, but she cannot. We must go get her. We must go get her. My coaching experience, why I became a coach. I was on this coaching call and I was asked to, if I had any issues. And I was like, well, yeah, this abandonment and rejection issue keeps coming up. So this coach did this thing with me. I don't know what to call it right now, but she did this thing with me, right? We had this experience, and it's a coaching technique. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a coaching technique. So I was able to go back to that moment in time where that belief was, where that thing that first happened to me. And it was like between the ages of 7 and 8. I was able to go back to that moment. And I'm telling you, during this process, my eyes are closed. I'm going back to this memory. Literally tears are flowing down my face. It's just, I can't even control everything that's happening inside of me, because I'm going back to this place, and she's having me talk to the younger version of me, at that 8-year-old girl. She's having me talk to myself and let myself know that it is not your fault. Like that's not the truth. That's not the truth. The person wasn't there because they just wasn't there, and it has nothing to do with you, right? Because this was a belief that I created, and I operated for decades from that belief. Okay, that's what I did. And so she was able to go, she was able to take me to that place inside of myself. I couldn't go by myself. That's what a coach does. It takes you to a place, he or she takes you to a place inside of yourself that you can't go by yourself. And you rescue that little girl or that little boy. Okay? So that's my personal story. That's why I became a coach, because I know what this work can do. You can't be your best self by yourself. You just can't. And so as we continue growing, we continue adding more and more layers of protection, which essentially serve to cement in her, doing the opposite of what we think the layers will do. The goal is to go back to our authentic self before we needed the protection. This is a factory reset. So what happened, what I experienced, was a factory reset. You know what a factory reset? So say your phone or your computer is just doing some crazy stuff, right? And you want to do a factory reset. You want to make it like it was before all of the viruses, all of the whatever junk is in it. Right? That's us. That's us. Factory reset. We must go back there and rescue our little boy or our little girl. Our memories, beliefs, values, drivers, skills, habits, and language, and etc. are all protected in layers. All of those things are protected in layers. The resistance is a part of the process. As we turn around to go and get her, we will experience resistance. It will happen. And the closer we get to the truth of who we are, the higher the resistance and more intense it feels. Oh my God. When I tell you, you just don't know what's in you until you start uncovering those layers, removing the layers. When you do that factory reset, oh my goodness, things will happen. And guess what? You'll be like, okay, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to create a belief around that and operate from that. It has nothing to do with me. Things that people do have nothing to do with you. Everybody's operating from their program, right? We all got different programs. What else? Our human programming does not like change, and it will do whatever it can to resist it and keep us at the status quo. Our human programming does not like change. It doesn't. People don't like change. We don't like change. We like things to stay the way they are. You see what happened with the pandemic. Our whole entire lives changed, turned upside down. Some people do not like it. A lot of people don't like it. But what can we do about it? Nothing. We can keep on doing it. We have to do it a different way. And then maybe we got to do it another different way. We're going to keep having to change. You're not broken. It's your programming. Be willing to move through old patterns and get back to the real you. It's only everything. This is the journey. This is the journey. And I don't care how young you are. I don't care how old you are. It is possible. It's possible to do a factory reset. It's possible to remove those layers of protection. It is possible to meet a new you. It's possible. I did it, and I'm 45 years old. I did this, and I'm still in the work. I'm still doing the work. It's personal development, not personal done development. Because you're never done. It's like things that I have been coached on. It's like I'm going through this spiral staircase. And sometimes it comes back again and again and again and again. But the more that I uncover it, the more I acknowledge it, the triggers don't feel like triggers anymore. It's like, oh, so what is this trying to tell me? So I'm looking at it in a different way now. When things trigger me, and I know when they're triggering me because I get this feeling like I want to say something, I want to do something, but I don't act, I don't react. Okay, so what is this trying to tell me? What happened in my past that this post or this comment or this person is triggering in me, right? I'm getting a lot of feedback on Instagram now, and some of the stuff is really negative, but I know, and hateful, and I know that has absolutely nothing to do with me. I post something or said something and they're triggered. And I'm not going to be in a fight with you and what happened to you and your feelings, because it's not me. It's not what I post. It's something that's in you that you have covered up. And that's what happens. We see things, we hear things, and we're like, I don't know why. And I, you get all in your feelings about the stuff. But it's not them. It's you. It's something in here that we need to look at. Like, what's going on? What happened? What happened? It could be something 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 5 days ago. It's something in us that we have to look at. The trajectory of the human journey. We're born. Something bad happens. We develop layers to protect. Our differences are in the details. What our bad thing was and how we choose to protect. What gets arrested? Your self-esteem, your self-love, and your self-trust. Those, my friends, that's arrested development. We're born. Something bad happens. We develop layers to protect. What gets arrested? Your self-esteem, your self-love, and your self-trust. And we walk around with these layers of protection. And a lot of times when I'm having encounters with people, I know that there's some encounters. I'm not having an encounter with that adult. I'm having an encounter with that 8-year-old boy, that 9-year-old girl, right? And so if we look at people with empathy and we look at people from that perspective, I think we will have more compassion for them. Because we all, in life, we go through things. We go through so much in life. And you can either let it define you or you can let it project you, propel you into who you're supposed to be. Because I could have used that rejection. I could have used that abandonment as this negative thing, which I did. And I made poor choices from that space. But once I got coached in that area, I created a new belief, the truth. And you know what? I can make different choices now. You can make different choices now. I don't care what you've done in the past, whether it was yesterday or last night. You have the choice to do it differently. You do. It's up to you. You are your own rescue. And a lot of times we're in our own way. We're in our own way. This stuff is available for everybody. It is. But it's a choice of what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself at? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because that was my story. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I knew that wasn't who I was. And that's not who you are. You're not what you did or what happened to you. You're not that person. You're not. People do bad things. Hurt people. It's not over. It's not over. As long as he wakes you up every morning, you have another chance to do it differently. You have another chance to make better choices. You do. But it's up to you. And I want to end with my phrase of the day. Because I was thinking about so much stuff has happened this past week. And I was thinking, I heard this sermon and the pastor said about sacred packages, right? So sacred packages, my sacred package was that rejection. My sacred package was that abandonment, that hurt, that the ending of a relationship. That was my sacred package, but it didn't feel like it at the time. So inside of that package was a coach, was a woman of God, was a mentor, was the person you see today who was constantly growing and constantly evolving and constantly meeting parts of me that I didn't even know existed. So don't let that thing, whatever it is, define you, because it's not who you are. It's what you did. And we have all done bad things that we don't want to talk about, that we're ashamed of. Where there's a should, there's a shame. Yeah, I should have not did that. I should have not done that. Right? Where there's a should, there's a shame. Right? But here's the thing. You can do it differently. You can start over as many times as you need. That's just the end of that story, that chapter. So what do? You turn the page. You turn the page. Because there's more in that book for you. You got blank pages. He has a plan for you. And it may just come through that sacred package that we're all have gotten. Whether you realize it or not, he's giving you a sacred package. What's your sacred package? And how are you going to use it for your good? I'm complete. Any comments, concerns, questions? Yeah, I know this was a lot, but I really wanted to share this because this is something that I didn't know about either. And it was brought back to my memory when we had our coaching call. And our coaching call wasn't on Arrested Development. Our coaching call, Entrepreneur School, was on attention. Attention, y'all. Attention. Because it's so much stuff is vying for our attention, especially on social media. And we have to pay attention to what we're paying attention to. Because we can get so distracted by arguing with people in the comments or just strolling through social media all day long for hours and hours. Have you noticed you just wait a minute, you just all day long, just before you know it, oh my God, look what time it is. Right? So it's so much stuff. I have so many pages of notes, and I watch the replay because I like watching things twice because I get different things every time I hear it. So I'll share with you some things you can do according, for your, it's called attention training. So you have morning rituals, and you have evening rituals, and you have switching task rituals, and you have rituals for out of control. So let me give you an example of my morning ritual. In the morning when I get up, I pray, of course. Then I'll go and I'll start posting my posts. I make posts every day on my pages. I have about 5 pages on Instagram, and I have Facebook, and I have TikTok, and I have Snapchat. And so I do my post, and then I'll do my video, phrase of the day. And then after that, on my route to work, I call it Car University. So I'll record a video sharing what I've learned the previous day or something that kept coming up for me. And when I get to work, I'm blessed to be in a position where I can put my earbuds in and do my work and listen to sermons, listen to motivational messages, whatever the case is, right? So those are my morning rituals. My evening rituals, when I get home, I just sit and just gather my thoughts, get everything, together. If I have any coaching calls, I'll do those. If I have any t-shirt orders to make, because I make t-shirts. Actually, I made this one right here, revamped. I was like, oh, peace and love. You need some of that. And so I'll either do that. And then after that, it's kind of like wind down, cook. I'll cook before I cook. My meal will be cooking while I'm, probably coaching or working on some orders or something. Then after that, I might watch a little bit of TV. Then after that, at about a certain time, I put my phone up. I literally put it in a drawer and just put it up because it is distraction. It's very distracting, and you want to just calm down, get your body, to a calm state. As far as rituals for switching tasks, you want to group things together. Things that you're doing, you want to group those things together. You want to give yourself time. You want to give yourself the time that you need. Allow yourself to have a break before moving to the next task. So if I'm coaching, before I move to another task or another coaching call, I might just walk around, just take some breaths, just, kind of like clear my head a little bit, get moving. Then I'll come back and I'll get on the next call, do the next thing that I have to do. Rituals for out of control. When you're off track, it feels like you're on a runaway horse. And the reaction we make inside of panic is not actually what we want to do. So you just have to get back control of the wild horse. and how you get control of a wild horse. You don't control the horse. You control you. You control you. You control yourself. Okay. So, and it's a story of the wild horse. I'm not going to share, but the analogy, the wild horse relates to humans, because we all kind of like wild horses just running around, and we're trying to get these wild horses' attention, right? And it's hard sometimes. I'll share that another time because it's really long, but it's really good, and it really connects with us and how we can be just so distracted with everything, and then we're trying to, jerk it and do all kind of things, and that's not how you do it, right? So you control the horse by controlling your mind. You got to control you. You have got to have self-control. That's all I have. I hope this was informative. I'm complete. So I don't see any comments. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to complete this call, and I'm going to go for my walk, because that's my Saturday thing I do for me. Thank you for watching. Again, I want to wish my brother and sister a happy, 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 happy birthday. Have the most amazing birthday, and I love you guys. And like I said, thanks for watching, and have an amazing weekend. Let me end my